April showers bring May flowers, or at least we can hope. But let's look back at the shower that was April and see what's happened here. I guess, to summarize, there's a little glimmer of hope, but certainly this is not the year that we anticipated. And the nonsense to the south is no doubt causing a lot of kind of, uncertainty. So how is that playing out in the market? Well, if we look at March over April in terms of sales volume, the increase of almost 20% is normal. That's like seasonal increases. What's not normal is the sales numbers themselves. They're on the soft side, and we'll dig into that a little bit further. Active listings also increasing, which one would expect as we move into the spring market. Lots of activity kind of April, May, June, that, real peak of the market often. So, the good news is inventory has fallen slightly from March. Lots of new listings, but even more sales. So thank goodness we're kind of coming back down into more of a reasonable months of standing inventory, and prices inched up a little bit, 707, 3% increase. So this is, in light of how the entire country is doing, this is quite good news. I mean, if we look at Toronto, they're down 20+% in sales volume, and they've actually had prices slide. So, hey, I guess we could just say, I don't know, I call it the government insulation, but Ottawa always is kind of a moderate market, and we're certainly doing okay, but not quite the year we expected. Moving on, here we are. This is kind of the bigger story in terms of the sales, right? Of course, we're up April over March, but we're down 11.2% in sales over last year. And last April was not a strong month, right? Because we started to see the interest rates go up. So given that interest rates and affordability have increased quite a bit, this is not a great result. Active listings up 54%. So that changes this whole market dynamic from 2.2 months of staying inventory to almost 4. Gives buyers a little bit more leverage, some more time to think. And what we are seeing in the market, boots on the ground, there's lots and lots of showing activity and then fewer offers. And so that's an interesting thing. Buyers are more hesitant or more cautious, and they have time to be. Moving on, here's kind of the breakdown per category, and I want to tell you what it feels like on the ground because it looks a little bit different. But single-family homes are up very modestly in price, 1.9%. Townhomes are fairly flat, and this is good news. The condos that have been quite flat are up almost 1% as well. But, if you dig a little bit deeper, you can see the tale of three cities almost, right? Kind of a balanced market, a seller's market, and a buyer's market. And this is very much how it feels. What I can tell you from boots on the ground, the center of the bell curve, the kind of average Ottawa sell price, call it 650 to 850, that market is moving quite fast. And in fact, we're seeing multiple offers in some cases. Meanwhile, a condo seems to still be quite slow. And a single-family home is doing okay, but, it better be priced right. So there it is. A little glimmer of hope in April, given the greater context. We're relatively happy with the results. Certainly a lot better than we're seeing in other markets. I think Toronto's reporting 23% reduction in sales volume, a 4.1% reduction in average sale price. So we're not in that territory, thank goodness. Again, government insulation. We'll see what May brings. This is not going to turn out to be the year that we had anticipated. We're seeing kind of, CREA, the Canadian Real Estate Association, changing their forecasts downwards. Hey, it's a lot of uncertainty that's creating a little bit of a ripple in the marketplace. Let's see what May brings.